Hello world and welcome to Tinkering Loyalty. Today is a very intensive video around math. So if this is not your main area, you could share with your math friend, or you could just buckle up on your seat because this is related to the most important question when deciding to launch a loyalty or incentive initiative. How much is it going to cost and what are the expected results? So let's start. This is the third video on our narrative that started with how to define your currency, and the second one is how to define that currency value. And now we are going to look over my method called Point Simulator. Yes, this is the strategy that I've designed through these years that will embed all the business decisions that we need in order for us to know how much will this initiative cost and the expected results. When I designed this method was to try to fix the most common mistake that I see on these loyalty programs. If I do this, what is the expected return? And this is a mistake because since I'm your strategist, I'm not here to give you the standard possible return. I'm here to create a solution that will reach your desired or aimed return. Or I'll tell you, I don't think this is viable. So let me show you how we do this. The last video was discussing about how to define your loyalty currency, and I showed you the Decathlon example saying that they have a 66-to-1 exchange rate that translates in 1.5 cashback. And I was saying that this can be because they started this from a fixed budget, and I always recommend that this comes from revenue history. So since this is kind of the end of the line, the last decision that we need to take in order for us to decide upon doing or not this loyalty or incentive program. Yes, for this video to make sense for you, you will probably have to watch a lot of my previous videos. You will have to watch my segmentation masterclass, the how to define your loyalty currency, the Basel method. All those techniques and all those concepts are applied here in the Point Simulator method, okay? Let me stress this. If you are not comfortable with your math skills, don't try to do this Point Simulator on your own. Because if you don't do the proper formulas, this won't become a tool, a simulator that will allow you to fine-tune to define the best answer. And also, if you make a mistake, this can lead to big financial impacts. So always have a friend that you trust in their math skills before starting this, okay? So when I designed the Point Simulator method was to answer a simple question. If I had this in the past, how would it look like? And we will get to this answer in 4 blocks. And let's go over these blocks right now. I'll have to look at this monitor to help you now, okay? So budget premises. We will start having to answer all these questions. And that's why I said you need a friend that's good with math, because you need to have this all with formulas, okay? So in your data history, I don't know if you are using 6 months, 1 year, whatever. What was the amount sold? What was the quantity sold? How many unique customers did you had in that period? How many customers would be eligible to this? And this is why watching the Basel method video is important, because I'm going to tell you today, tomorrow, and forever. Stop giving points to users that will never be able to redeem. This is harming your brand. And the Basel method helps you understand who are those users. Then you will have your CAPEX costs, your OPEX costs, and then you will have the amount of money that you have available to return to the users. In this example, the cells are in yellow because what I want you to do right now is just assign a percentage. Assign a percentage to the money that I have on costs, if you have already an estimate from a solution provider, the money that you have for your team, and a percentage to give back to the users. So in the next chapter, you will do the eligibility premises. What is this? So you will get all the behaviors that you want to incentivize. You want to incentivize purchase. You want to incentivize referring to a friend. You want to incentivize giving feedback to products, things like that. And you will add your data history. This is when things start to get hard. Like, do I have a way to know that they refer us to a friend? If not, we will need to create this program to have a way to discover who referred who. Put all those informations there. And again, we have the yellow cells. So the yellow cells are things that you are going to input in the simulator. The first thing that you need to input is the amount of points you will give. As I explained in how to define your loyalty currency, the amount of points that you are going to give doesn't matter. You need to put an amount of points that will be easy to communicate. So if you want to give 1 million points for each euro they spent, do it. Everyone will hate your program, but you can do that. And you can also do 1 euro, 1 point. And probably they will hate as well, because there are different techniques to decide this. But again, the easiest for you to communicate. And if you don't know why 1 euro, 1 point would probably make them mad, then there's a lot of loyalty and incentive techniques that you are not accounting for. Maybe you are just copying what your competitors are doing, and they hate your competitors and they will hate yours as well. After you decide how many points you are going to give and the frequency or the trigger that you will use for that, don't fill the things in blue. This is the result of the simulation. So if you want to give 1 point for every euro, the math guy needs to go there and calculate. Next, we will do the engagement premises. And this is why the Bazan method was important prior on doing this. I normally recommend that you sort your audience into 3 tiers. The MVPs, the ones that you need to shield, the people that already buys heavily, they love your brand, and you want to account for them as well. Then I'm calling here the ones that are in average and the tourists. In the Basal, I was mentioning that the average is the growth potential, and the tourists, the ones that you need awareness, that you don't know if they will become your customers. You know that they came here once and you don't know why. When I mention share using data history, you just try to understand the amount of people that you have on each category. And then the most important part, define your goals. So how many people do you want to onboard on 30, 90, 180 days for you to consider this a success? Yes, you need to put your own appetite here. We can give you references. We can give you industry benchmarks. Yes, but the result here will rely solely on your ability to communicate this. So if you say that you want 20% of your past customers to enroll on this in the first 30 days, you will have to do massive communications, not only on store, because you need to make them return to the store for them to know this. So you need to assign an amount that's relevant for your business result, and then we will design a strategy to help you get to that answer. You will also need to decide now what is the minimum relevant reward. What does this mean? This means that if you are going to give me points, what's the easiest thing that I will like that I can redeem? You already decided how many points you are going to give per behavior. Great. Now you are going to decide how many points I need in order to exchange for that. When you do that, now the point simulator will say from your past data, in 30 days, you will have at least this amount of customers that will be eligible to redeem. In 90 days, this amount of customers, and so on and so on. So when you assign your minimum amount to redeem is when you start understanding what is the expected results that the program can give you. So now the only thing that's missing is, for our MVPs, what is our growth percentage? Let's say that you have 1,000 customers and only 50 of them are MVPs, and you probably have 200 on the growth stage. So what you are going to do is assign a percentage of growth that you expect from the average to the MVP stage. So with that percentage, now your simulator will assess the amount of additional revenue that you will get and the amount of people that will also be able to redeem. And with this, you will be able to know your first evaluation of what is the expected return, what's the expected ROI. Remember, we started this because we were in our quest for the holy ROI, and this is almost the end of that journey. This is the first time that we are seeing what is my expected ROI. What happens now is this was created as a tool, as a simulator. And now that you are seeing the final answer, you will be able to calibrate the cells that are on yellow in order for you to assess what is an optimistic return, what is a conservative return, and what's the return that you don't want, that you won't do this if the return is less than X amount. And with this in hand, then you need to create the engagement strategy. So now that I know that I need to enhance my MVP base by 10%, for instance, we will know how much we will need to sell in order to do that. And we know how much it will cost us. So is this worth? If not, let's change the calibrations until we find a balanced environment that we can implement our initiative. I tried to make it very simplified for you here so that you can see what are the steps. The actual tool has a lot of cells and it's very intimidating. This looked nice, but trust me, this changes the game when you can manually input your business objectives and see the results based on past data. Now you know what you need to reach because you need to have the same result that you had in the past and enhance your business need in order to get that results. And this is possible. It's not only possible, you will surpass this as long as you have a consistent narrative with your audience and if you stop giving points for people that will never redeem. Ok? Obrigado.